everyone, and welcome to the Sunday celebration service for the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living, located in Research Triangle, North Carolina. We are so glad that you're joining us. My name is Carol Cross. My pronouns are she and her, and I'm one of the licensed practitioners with the center. And it is my honor and privilege to lead our morning meditation. So you may know, if you're part of our community, that CSL is doing this 100-day program about upraising the energy around the election intention, which has been fantastic. I love it. It's been really great to choose light and to choose vision and to choose connection instead of fear and other stuff that's going on. So the book that they have recommended as being part of the foundation of this program is by a person named Prentice Hemphill, What It Takes to Heal, How Transforming Ourselves Can Change the World. And I wanted to read a small passage that I thought was very powerful. And the author is a non-binary black gay person who presents to the world as a female. So I can only imagine what their life experience has been. And in this part, they're talking about visioning, creating our vision for ourselves in the world. And they write, "Visioning is not easy. We are born into other people's visions for us and for the world. From the moment we take our first breaths, we are surrounded by expectations and futures imposed by our families, our communities, and our society. Visions about who we will be, what we will do for a living, who we will marry, and how many kids we'll have. Less personal visions shape us just the same. Visions about how a society should be constructed, from buildings to borders, to laws to rituals, to concepts of God and nature. We are born into a world populated with others' visions and their own constraints of imagination that still shape how we move, how we feel, who we think we are, and who others are. Just as a fish can't conceive of water, we often don't know about or consent to the visions around us. They become the measure for what is true and what should be. These visions set a path for our lives, opening up channels of possibilities and foreclosing many others. Within their grip, it is difficult to know who we really are or what we might become." So I invite you to close your eyes if you haven't already. Take a few breaths just to really get yourself centered. And let's contemplate that. Like, whose visions are driving us? Is it our authentic self-vision? Or is it that status quo that we are releasing ourselves from this month? So take that into your meditation.
choose all of these visions that we get born into, but we do get to choose whether we decide to follow them or not. So be powerful this week. And we will see you at 10:15 for the main service. Thanks so much for being with us this morning. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Sunday celebration service at the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living in Research Triangle, North Carolina. My name is Carol Cross. My pronouns are she, her, and I am a licensed practitioner with the center here. I'm filling in for our beloved minister, Reverend Dusty, who is taking some much-deserved time out of town. But she is with us in spirit. Her love is always flowing, no matter what it is that she's doing. So the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living is a spiritual community that honors all paths and promotes global transformation through personal transformation. We are a spiritual community that can support you as you strive to experience a personal relationship with the divine. A spiritual community where you are respected and accepted for who you are. A space and a place for inspiration, insight, and revelation, as well as loving support to grow into your highest and best self. You are welcome here, no matter where you are on your journey. We are part of a larger organization called Centers for Spiritual Living, which is a global community of over 450 spiritual centers, teaching chapters, and special focus ministries in 30 countries worldwide. Centers for Spiritual Living is a practical and positive philosophy, faith, and way of life that is dedicated to transforming lives by providing powerful spiritual principles and practices for our individual lives and exploring new possibilities to assist the world into achieving our shared goal, a world that works for all. So, thank you so much for being here with us today. So, please, is this right? No. Okay. So, yes, it is. Okay. Sorry. So I invite everybody to stand up, and we are going to sing our opening congressional song, You and Me by Eddie Watkins Jr.
Shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. One life living as you and me, one light shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out, I'm so happy, I just wanna shout. One life living as you and me, one light shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. One life living as you and me, one light shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out, I'm so happy, I just wanna shout. One life living as you and me, one light shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. One life living as you and me, one light shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is.
Some of our dearest members, Sean and Larry Shahi.
And once again, good morning, everybody. So when we were singing that song, the scripture came to me that where the Spirit is, there is liberty. I'm feeling free this morning. So and I hope you're feeling it with me. We're going to try to do the announcements. Larry decided to come up with me today. So yes.
I was tired of him taking the spotlight every time. Okay, the first announcement is our Wednesday evening services throughout 2024 are called Beyond Sunday. Please join us at 7 p.m. on Zoom. The link is available on our Wednesday newsletter or on our website. During the month of August, our Wednesday evening services will take a deep dive into the wisdom of Robert Augustus Masters in his book Spiritual Bypassing, when spirituality disconnects us from what really matters. It is a book fully devoted to explaining and working through spiritual bypassing, providing an in-depth look at the unresolved or ignored issues that are often masked or marginalized through spiritual bypassing. Reverend Dusty will be facilitating the conversations throughout the month. Although reading the book is not required, I encourage you to consider checking it out.
Okay. Number 2, Gourmets for God is a unique community builder and fundraiser for our center. We have 11 events this year. The electronic silent auction began yesterday and will end on Sunday, August 25th. The link went out by constant contact. If you're having any problem, though, seeing the Gourmets for God, just get with Heather and she will help you navigate that. If you did not receive it, please contact Heather. You are also able to access it through our website. Anyone can bid, and there is no limit to how many events you can bid for. You do not need to be a TCSL member to participate. Events happen from September 7th through November 7th.
And this is a reminder of our annual Durham Bulls game outing. We still have 3 tickets left for the game on Friday evening, August 30th. To reserve tickets, please call, text, or email Heather Abbott. It is a very fun evening filled with fellowship, a great game, wonderful seats, and the most amazing fireworks you've ever seen.
Now, number 4 actually stumped me a little bit because normally I don't, really read over the announcements, too deeply. But then I saw the name Carol Cross. Carol is very sophisticated, everybody. I didn't want a word to get thrown in that I didn't know how to pronounce. So I read it. Carol is one of those people that, you know how you say sometimes somebody is a know-it-all? Carol is a real know-it-all. She really does know it all. I'll never forget one time I just casually go, I really like Roman history, but I don't know a whole lot about it. About 2 hours later, Carol had given me a complete lesson on Roman history. Okay, number 4. This is a Save the Date announcement for Carol Cross's 3rd journaling workshop in the 4-workshop series. This upcoming workshop is called Harvesting Wisdom, an autumnal spiritual journaling workshop. As the leaves begin to turn and nature prepares for the coming darkness, we focus attention to exploring the sometimes contradictory spiritual qualities of fall. In this workshop, discover journaling techniques geared towards the rich tapestry of autumn, where endings and beginnings intertwine, and the wisdom of discovering when and what to release can show us a path toward wisdom of discovering when and what to release can show us the path forward transformation. Join us as we journey through the sacred landscape of fall, embracing the wisdom of letting go and appreciating the gifts of the harvest through the art of spiritual journaling. Reserve your spot today and prepare for a special optimal experience. Look it up. It's spelled A-U-T-U-E.
Optimal.
Right.
Yes.
The workshop will be held at 4 Points by Sheraton, Raleigh-Durham Airport, following service on Sunday, September 8th from 12 to 3. The cost is $30. The workshop will be facilitated by Carol Cross, RSCP, MA, ED, and longtime journaling enthusiast. Thank you, everybody.
So, the theme for the year 2024 is a grand rising. Our theme for the month of August is unstatus quo. And get ready for this. We have a guest speaker today, one of our extended TCSL family members, Reverend Andy Ross. And his talk title is, Let's Talk About Sex, Baby. So I know we're looking forward to hearing about that. So I am now going to read our community's purpose statement. This is our reason for being here. Our purpose is to inspire, educate, and empower individuals to experience themselves as unique and individualized expressions of God, the love intelligence that governs the universe. We are committed to not merely a theoretical understanding of our oneness and unity with God, but to consciously practice this truth in our everyday lives. Through celebration, service, study, and fellowship, we are committed to the transformation of our personal lives and to being a powerful and beneficial presence on this planet. With the energy of unconditional love, simply, we are here for God. All right, so now we're making our transition into the sacred part of our service. So I invite you to close your eyes and allow the beautiful tones of the crystal bowls to wash over you and center you in that divine place within. Center for Spiritual Living honors the diversity and threads of truth that run through all spiritual paths, as represented by this ceremony. Christianity is the path of Christ consciousness, love, Buddhism is the path of compassion and understanding. Judaism is the ethical path of living by sacred law. Baha'i is the path of unity and peace. Islam is the path of submission to the will of God, the highest calling. Confucianism is the path of deliberate tradition. Taoism is the natural way, the path of ultimate reality. Native American practice and shamanic traditions are the paths of primal spirituality. Shintoism is the path of tribal ancestry. Hinduism is the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. Science of mind and spirit is the path of the divine principles of love and law. And the heart represents the one heart, the one love that resides at the center of all people and all beings everywhere, with no exceptions. May peace prevail on earth through the followers of all paths. And so it is. Thank you so much, ladies. All right. So I'm going to now do a blessing on today's service. Once again, inviting you to close your outer eyes and go within. And, you know, I'm really feeling that oneness right now, that one heart that is where God, by whatever name you might know it, where God resides, where the divine emanates from this place and fills my body with the one power, the one presence, the one substance that makes up everything on this planet, in this universe, in this dimension. I don't even know. I just know that it is all the same energy, that divine energy of unconditional love, of peace, of abundance, of joy, of wisdom, of beauty. That is who and what I truly am. And I know it is also true of each and every person in this service, each and every person on the planet, each and every two-legged or four-legged or eight-legged creature that crawls or swims or flies or walks on this planet. Each blade of grass, each rock, each crystal, everything is this same oneness. And when I am standing in that place, a oneness with all that is, I am unlimited. And so I know that today is a blessed day, that this service is a blessed service. I say a word of thanks to all the volunteers who come early or stay late, all the behind-the-scenes people who contribute so much. I say a word of blessing on Heather and on Matthew as they do their tech magic back there that makes this event possible to be shared in time and space. I say a word of blessing on our musicians today, Miles and Letha Costin, such enlightened souls and such talented musicians. And I say a word of blessing on our speaker, Reverend Andy Ross, who is just an open vessel for divine wisdom, for connecting with the sacred
and combining the sacred with the profane. Finally, I say a word of blessing on everyone who's participating in this service, because this service is a tapestry of each individual unique expression of that divine oneness, but expressing in a special way. And the tapestry would not be complete without the threads that each of us weave into this beautiful picture. So knowing that that is what we are creating wisdom, we are creating love, we are creating beauty, let's get started with it. And just turn this over to the law that always says yes with our words, and so it is. All right. So our reading for today is from The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. Yeah. So he says, "And now you ask in your heart, how shall we distinguish from which is good in pleasure from that which is not good? Go to your fields and your gardens, and you shall learn that it is the pleasure of the bee to gather honey of the flower. But it is also the pleasure of the flower to yield its honey to the bee. For to the bee, a flower is a fountain of life, and to the flower, the bee is a messenger of love. And to both, bee and flower, the giving and the receiving of pleasure is a need and an ecstasy. People of Orphalese, be in your pleasures like the flowers and the bees." And so it is. I know we can't wait to see what Reverend Andy has cooked up for us today, but we're going to have Miles and Letha Costin set the stage for us with their wonderful music. Miles and Letha.
Well, Miles got himself a new baby here recently, so we've got to break it in.
Is that loud enough? Yeah. 2, 3. People keep on learning, and soldiers keep on mourning. And powers keep on lying, and people keep on dying. World keep on turning, 'cause it won't be too long.
So darn glad I get to try it again, 'cause the last time around I made a mess out of things. I'm so glad I know more now than I knew then. Gonna keep on trying till I reach the highest ground. And teachers keep on teaching, preachers keep on preaching. That's right. World keep on turning, 'cause it won't be too long.
keep on loving. Believers, keep on believing. Sleepers, just stop sleeping, 'cause it won't be too long.
So darn glad I get to try it again, 'cause the last time around I made a mess out of things. I'm so glad I know more now than I knew then. Gonna keep on trying till I reach the highest ground.
Till I reach the highest ground.
No one's gonna keep me down.
I'm gonna reach the highest ground. Thank you, folks.
Full song to, set off our talk. And done so well. So before I have our preacher come up and do his preaching, I wanted to say a few words about Reverend Andy Ross. There are so many that can be said. And I think I just have to go first with, what a committed family man he is. He's a father, a husband, a son, a brother, an uncle. And that's always one of the great pleasures of having Andy speak, is we always get the extended Ross clan with us. So welcome, Rosses! He works as a chaplain at Wake Med Hospital. And, if I or one of my loved ones were in the hospital, Andy has exactly the kind of energy that I would love to be supported with in that situation. So I know he does a fantastic job there. He is a published author. And he, in fact, has just published his third book, which is called Religion, A Theology for the Here and Now. So I've loved his other two. I can't wait to read this one. And we will be having a workshop with him in a couple of months, so stay tuned for the information about that. But most of all, Andy is a scholar. And he is such a great example to me about, you can study this stuff for a long time, and you can only scratch the surface. There's always more. And that's what Andy always brings us, is something new and different. And he's a perfect speaker for this month of Unstatus Quo, because he found God in an unusual place, in stand-up comedy. So let's give a big welcome to Reverend Andy Ross.
Sexy. That was so sexy. We can clap for the folks again. So good. Now, yes, Macy, I'm nervous today. Now, I don't want you to think out there in TV land or you hear that I'm not nervous when I speak to you, like I don't care what you think about me, because I do. But this morning, I'm especially nervous because my daughter Macy is here. And if you don't know, children are hard to impress. The other day, I go to my daughter Livy's room, the old one. I knock on the door, and I come in and say, "Hey, Livy." And she says, "Yeah, what did you want?" I say, "Hey, Livy, I just published a new book. And she goes, "Is it on TikTok?" No, it's not on TikTok. Then why are you bothering me? So very hard to impress. Now, Macy is actually much better at Livy with at least the pretending of compassion. Because when I knock on Macy's door and I say, "Hey, Macy," she says, "Hey, Dad." Like, guess what? What? I just published a new book. And she goes to her go-to, which is always the same. Always the same. She tries so hard. She says, "That's good, Dad." No matter what I say, it's always, "That's good, Dad." Guess what, Macy? I made dinner. That's good, Dad. I had a long week, Macy. It's finally Friday. That's good, Dad. I've had something in my teeth, Macy, all day long. And I just got it out. That's good, Dad. So I'm hoping to impress you today, and I think by the end of this, you'll think, "That's good, Dad." But guys, this is what I want so bad. Like, you want to be good at what you do. I want you to learn something. It'd be great if you learned something, if you walked out of here going, "Oh, I didn't think about that." It'd be great if I inspired you, if you walked out of here and you said, "Wow." But what I really want, I want this talk to be sexy. Let me paint you a picture. A couple years ago, I was sitting on the porch. This is what I mean by sexy. I don't mean this, because this ain't working. What I mean by sexy is I want this to stir every bit of you. A couple years ago, I was sitting on the porch, and I was reading Karl Rahner's Foundations of Christian Faith, because, that's what I do, read the theology. And I thought, wow, this thing I'm reading, this is sexy. This theology is sexy. And what I mean by that is this theology stirs every part of my being. My mind is excited. My body is excited. My soul is excited. I was drawn out of myself. So what I want for you today to feel is I want you to feel that, Andy, I learned something, I was inspired, and this talk was sexy. So that's where we're going. And if you're going to have a sexy talk, the first thing you need is a sexy name. You need a sexy title. And I was thinking about this all week long. What are we going to call this? What's going to be the sexy name of this? Because we're talking about three things. We're talking about three interrelated spheres of human expression. Three vehicles through which the human being expresses themselves. So at first I thought, okay, the sexy triad. But that's not sexy enough. So what I finally came up with, and I think you're going to love this, this is the title, this is what I want to begin with today. The name of this is the Mesome Threesome. It's the Mesome because it all has to do with you, with me. How do I express myself? And it's a threesome because there's three of them, and that's just a sexy title. So the three things we're talking about today: 1, biology, physical. How do you express yourself physically? 2, sexuality, creativity. How do you express yourself creatively, sexually? And 3, gender. How do you think about yourself in relation to the other two? Those are the three things we're going to talk about today. They're interrelated. They have to do with one another, and they're in constant motion and constant conversation. So 1, biology. Raise your hand if you have a body. Yay, everyone, good. The first way that a human being learns to express him, herself, themselves is through their body. This is the vehicle I have to live my life. How am I going to express myself through this body? How am I going to walk in a way that's authentic to me? How am I going to dance in a way that's authentic to me? How am I going to dress myself, adorn myself? I love tattoos. You're not getting them, but I love tattoos. You can get tattoos. The reason I love tattoos is when you put something on your body, when you get some ink done, it's a way of expressing yourself. You're saying, world, this is what I want you to know about me. When I meet someone, my family knows this, the first thing I usually ask them is if they have tattoos, tell me about that. I love fingernail polish. I don't wear it, but I love it. I love clothes. I mean, this is all I have, but I love clothes. I love the way that human beings adorn themselves because they're saying, this is me. This is my mode of self-expression. If I had hair, I would love hair. I would do my hair up in fun ways. I would dye it fun colors because this is how I express myself. So human beings, the first way we express who we are, self-expression, is through this body. How am I going to move? How am I going to take care of this thing? What am I going to do with this? Got it? Raise your hand if you have a body. Okay, you're with me. Smack yourself. Come on. Okay, you're awake. Good. The second way that human beings express themselves is through sexuality and creativity. The question here is, what am I drawn to? Who am I drawn to? What am I passionate about? What pulls me out of myself? How can I express myself through my passions? I told you earlier, a few minutes ago, that theology is sexy. It's because theology is something I am passionate about. I can't get enough of it. When I read it, when I hear it, when I study it, when I think about it, I'm like, oh, this is so good. My wife comes to me and she says, hey, you want to, mix it up? And I say, after this chapter. I never say that. Boom! You wanna? It's a Gallagher joke. How do I express myself? What am I passionate about? What pulls me? If I want to know how to express myself through creativity, all I have to do is pay attention to what draws me, what pulls me, not what life says should draw me, should pull me, but what gets my blood pumping? Who gets my blood pumping? So one, we express ourselves through our body. Two, we express ourselves through sexuality and creativity. What am I passionate about? What am I drawn to? Number three, gender and psychology. What do I think about myself? Who do I think that I am? The interesting thing about all three of these, the way they're related, is in the world we live in, we tend to talk about all three of these things in binaries. There's only two. Raise your hand if you're a man. Don't do this. I don't want to get into that. Men and women. There's only two types of bodies, right? There are men bodies and women bodies. Look around you. Go ahead. Take your time. Tell me, does anyone here look the same? No. I mean, sure, we could categorize them, and yeah, these kind of bodies have these kind of parts, and these kind of bodies traditionally have these kind of parts, and it's useful to have those ideas, but they're just ideas. Every single one of you is physically completely unique. But we like to think about things in twos because the world is relational. We relate to things. I am relating to you, one relating to the other. So we tend to think of things in binaries. The same thing about sexuality and creativity. One attracted to the other. But did you know that no one can tell you, life can't tell you what you're passionate about? We think male, female. That's the way it should be. And I guess that's a useful idea, perhaps. It's a useful label, maybe. But I am drawn to so many different things. I am pulled towards so many different things. I am not attracted to all women, just most of them. I'm not attracted to all men, just Justin Timberlake. So your sexuality, your creativity is not binary. It's a whole field of possibilities. Now, lately in our culture, we have been thinking about the mind. And we have been thinking about how the mind identifies itself based on this binary, based on this duality. Am I a man I'm going to go hunting and build something. And going to put a deer on my wall. Or am I a woman? I'm going to cook and bake and run the country in December. But think about the way you think about yourself. Your idea of yourself, your shifting, fluid personality, the way you picture yourself in your mind. What has that got to do with the binary? Yes, I think of myself in relation to this body. And I think of myself in relation to what I'm drawn to, in relation to my creativity, my sexuality. But this thing is constantly moving and constant motion. And right now, I believe, this is just me personally, that we are in the middle of the gender revolution. We are beginning to challenge the ideas of what society tells me I should be and how I should think about myself. Close your eyes, close your eyes. Think about yourself. Okay, open your eyes. Close your eyes again. Think about yourself. Okay, open your eyes. One more time, close your eyes. Think about yourself. And open your eyes. I bet you had 3 different thoughts. I bet you had 3 different sections of thoughts. I bet you had 3 different groupings of thoughts. Now, that's just a kind of a fun trick, but if you actually did that, if you actually closed your eyes today and thought about yourself and described, who am I? What am I? What am I doing with this life? And then you did it again a day later, a week later, a month later, it would change. We express ourselves through a body. We find our body as a vehicle for self-expression. How am I going to express myself in the world? We express ourselves through creativity. What am I drawn to? What am I passionate about? And how do my passions help me to express myself in the world? And we express ourselves through how we think about ourselves. Who am I? What am I? What am I doing here? And that is fluid and it's constantly changing. And all 3 of these are merely vehicles of self-expression. How am I going to express myself to the world? And there is a secret. Do you want to know the secret? Do you want to know the secret? Come on, do you want to know the secret? Yes, be excited. The secret to self-expression, the secret to having a body that fully expresses who you are, the secret to having the best sex you've ever had, the secret to being passionate, the secret to thinking in a way that expresses yourself fully every single day. The secret is, edge of seat, acceptance. If I want to fully express myself through my body, the first thing I have to do is accept my body. Andy, yeah, this is what you have to work with. This is my body. I'm going to feed my body. I'm going to clothe my body. I'm going to take care of it the best I can. But this is my vehicle for this life. If I want to use this vehicle, if I want to adorn this vehicle, if I want to express myself to you through this body, the first thing I have to do is accept this is my body. This is what I have. This is the tool I have to express myself in the world. And through acceptance, I begin to walk different. I walk like this. I begin to dance different. I begin to adorn myself differently because this is a gift and I was given this for this life. I need to accept what I am passionate about, what draws you, what pulls you. Accept what is knocking at your window all day long. Look at me, look at me, pay attention to me, pay attention to me, pay attention to me. It's not your kids. It's not your cats. It's your passion. What is speaking to you? What is asking you for your attention? Accept that. And accept how you think about yourself. Good and bad, positive and negative. I have a little anxiety. That's how my mind works. I get anxious. I'm a planner. That's good, Dad. Planner. I like to plan things. I like to know what's going on. And guess what? In life, you cannot know what's going on. So that causes me anxiety. I have to accept that about myself. If I want to express myself fully through my mind, I have to accept the way my thoughts work. I have to allow my thoughts to express myself fully by accepting that this is how my brain works. And once I accept how my brain works, I can allow it to change and evolve and move and express myself fully. Now, I am a body of self-expression. I am creative and a sexual being as a mode of self-expression. And I have thoughts about myself as a vehicle, as a mode of self-expression. And that, amazing, is just the beginning. Because I ain't talked about nothing spiritual yet. I love doing this to you. I love hooking you, pulling you in, John. And right when you think he's done talking, we can go to lunch now, we make a shift. Because yes, I have a body. It's physical. Now, my body is innately spiritual, but self-expression is a physical thing. I have a passion. I have things I'm drawn to, but that's energy. That's a physical thing. It's spiritual, but it's not necessarily just spiritual. I have ideas about myself. I have a gender and a psychological disposition, but that's not necessarily spiritual. These are just modes of self-expression. Everyone's doing this every day. But how do we make these things spiritual? How can I have a spiritual body? How can my sexuality and my creativity become a mode or a vehicle of spirituality? And how can my thoughts, my gender, who I think I am, become spiritual? Edge of the seat. When they become modes of not just self-expression, I love you, Carol. You are actually on the edge of your seat. When they become vehicles of self-transcendence. My body is an expression of who I am, but the question is, how do I transcend my body? How do I realize that I'm not just a body, I am inhabiting a body? It's a vehicle, but it's a vehicle of what? Of whom? When my creativity, when my sexuality, when what I'm drawn to doesn't just draw me, it draws me out of myself. It draws me beyond myself. And how does my thoughts about myself become a vehicle to transcend my thoughts about myself? How do I accept them as just ideas, just a vision of concepts that are limited that I am experiencing? How do I do that? How do I turn this vehicle of self-expression into a vehicle of self-transcendence? Do you remember the key? Do you remember the secret to the one before? Accept. I'm glad one of you is paying attention. Because the rest of you are going to fail the test and you're going to get a sticker with a frowny face. Because I think teachers should not just give stickers with smiley faces. I think they should give stickers with frowny faces and tears and things. Dunce caps. Be hard on the kids. Acceptance. So what is if acceptance is the key to if acceptance is the key to self-expression, if acceptance is the key to expressing myself fully through a body, through my creativity, and through my mind, what is the key to self-transcendence? You know this. You know this. What is the key? What is the key to self-transcendence? One word. Come on, you know this. You know this. Love. Aw, you guys. Aw, shucks. How does my body become more than a vehicle of just self-expression? I have to love it. I have to love my body, not just accept it, love it. This is a vehicle of myself in life. This is God living my life through me, and I have to love it. What is love? God seeing itself in life. When God witnesses itself, it goes, oh, I love you. That's what God sounds like. I love you, Skeeter. So how does my body become a vehicle of self-transcendence? Through love, by loving my body. Every square inch, every toenail, every fingernail, those weird bumps on your elbow. How does my creativity, how does my passion become a vehicle not just of self-expression, of self-transcendence? By loving what I'm passionate about. Not just accepting that, hey, I'm kind of drawn to this, but loving what I'm drawn to, viewing it as God viewing God in life, like, wow, what an amazing thing it is to be stirred by theology, by food, by music, by computers, Star Wars, but things like food, cupcakes. How do I use love as a mode? Why do they call it making love? Because my goodness, it'll draw you out of yourself. You lose yourself in the act if it's good. You lose yourself. Where am I? Love. How does my mind become not just a thought about myself, but a vehicle to transcend my thoughts about myself? When I realize that who is having these thoughts? Who is thinking these things? Who thinks of myself as a male? Who thinks of myself as a female? Who thinks of myself as non-binary? Those are great categories. Those are wonderful if they're tools for self-expression and self-transcendence. By loving my thoughts about myself, even if my thoughts are depressing, even if I tend to look down on myself, even if I have negative self-talk, I have to love that. I have to love that about myself because I am alive and I am the one who's thinking these things. And when you begin to love, smack it, come on. When you begin to love this body, how do we do like a sexy move? Do this. How do I love my creativity? How do I love what I'm passionate about? And do this. How do I love my mind? It's for the kids. I'm trying to entertain the kids. It's for the kids. How do I love these things? How do I love these things? That is the question. You are lucky. You are so lucky. You know why? Because you're here. Not just hearing me talk. I mean, you're so lucky to be here today, to be bathed in this wisdom. No, you're lucky because, think about it. You're here. You exist. You have a body. You have a passion. You have a mind. You are here. And through acceptance and through love, you can be the most here you can be. The best you, more than you, a vehicle for carrying you. A vehicle for loving you. And then when you walk down the street, people will just go, that is sexy. Let's pray together. I know, right? Let's pray together. Come on. Well, in this moment, I am just thankful that I have a body. It doesn't always work the way I want it to work, but it expresses who I am, and it's a vehicle for transcendence. I am grateful that I am passionate. I'm not always passionate about the things that life wants me to be passionate about, but I am passionate, and that's a beautiful thing. I am thankful for my idea of who I am. Yes, the ideas are not always pleasant, but I'm thankful that I'm alive and have ideas. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to be alive, the opportunity to exist and to feel all the feelings. So today, my prayer for all of you with a body, my prayer for all of you with passion, my prayer for all of you with ideas, my prayer is that you will grow to love who you are. That you will learn to love every freckle on your body. That you will learn to love everything and every person you're drawn to. And that you will learn to love every little thought you have about who you are. And through that love, you will grow and grow and grow and find a peace and fulfillment that makes this life just a miracle. That is my prayer for you and for me. We are grateful for every moment. We are grateful for this time in fellowship together. and we bring it all together. We say amen, and so it is. Thank you. Well, thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Hope I didn't embarrass you too much.
All right, I think we can do better than that. Let's give it up to Reverend. All right, now it is time for our conscious giving. The Triangle Center for Spiritual Living is sustained by the giving of our time, talent, and treasure. This is the time every week when we offer financial support to assist this community to be a beacon of light and love for ourselves and for others. Together, we affirm the truth that today's offering lifts this community, this spiritual community, prospers the one giving, and contributes to the experience of sufficiency in the world. So there are several ways you can give. The best, of course, is when you show up here and we get to see you and you can contribute directly. But you can also visit our website at www.trianglecsl.org. You can text the word give using the following number, 919-629-9148, so which is a different phone number than we used to have, so make sure you're calling into the right number or texting in. Or you can mail your gift to our office. Our address is PO Box 4062, Cary, North Carolina, 27519. So now please place your hand on your heart with your gift or intention, and let's say our affirmation in a call and response. I live in an abundant universe that blesses and prospers my life. I give with gratitude, knowing God is my source. And so it is. So thank you all so much for your supporting us in a financial way. And all the other ways you support us as well. Okay, so while the baskets are being passed around, Miles and Letha are going to delight us with another offering. So let's welcome Miles and Letha Costin.
And I would have to say, this is probably what I would consider the sexiest song we've ever written. Woo! But hang on to your seats. You ready? I know those little back roads like the back of my hand. I'm not afraid to take them just as fast as I can. I'd say that for the most part I'm bold and brazen man, but I'm looking down this road and I don't know where to stand on this unmarked pavement with nothing to define. Which half the road is yours and which half is mine? Unmarked pavement, I saw the warning signs. I guess we'll just start riding till someone draws a line. Now I've seen my share of traffic cops and I know the county judge. They don't intimidate me and I don't hold a grudge. But when you put the brakes on, you gave my heart a nudge. I've never driven here and I'm afraid to budge down this unmarked pavement with nothing to define. Which half the road is yours and which half is mine? Unmarked pavement, well, I saw the warning signs, but I guess we'll just keep riding till someone draws a line. love those narrow shoulders and dangerous curves. But somehow that barren blacktop makes me lose my nerve. I wanna see some paint before I'll get off this curb. With that unmarked pavement, you never can be sure. You drove into my blind spot, snuck up from behind. Not sure what you wanted, wasn't sure what I would find. But when you said let's ride, you know you really blew my mind. Now we barrel over speed bumps and laugh at warning signs like that unmarked pavement with nothing to define. Which half of the road is yours and which half is mine? Unmarked pavement, well, I saw the warning signs. I guess we'll just keep riding till someone draws a line. Unmarked pavement with nothing to define. Which half of the road is yours and which half is mine? Unmarked pavement, well, I saw the warning signs. I guess we'll just keep riding till someone draws a line. Someone draws a line. Hang on to that thought. Hold on for it. Y'all know this one. Get up and sing along. Wow thing, you make my heart sing. You make everything groovy. Wow thing.
Wow thing, I think I love you.
But I wanna know for sure.
Come on, hold me tight. I love you.
Wow thing, you make my heart sing. You make everything groovy. Wow thing.
Wow thing, I think you move me.
But I wanna know for sure.
So come on and hold me tight. You move me.
Come on,
Wild thing. Shake it, wild thing. Come on now, wild thing. Wild thing.
Crowd goes wild. You guys at home, you don't know what you missed, not getting out of bed this morning and coming down here to be part of the scene. So, if you're like me, which I know you are, and you cannot get enough of those rockin' Costins, I will just remind you that they are one of our Gourmet for God hosts. And they've got like the most beautiful house in North Raleigh. They are fantastic cooks. You get to go out and sing with them. Yes, well, cook. And you even get to find out about Letha's special passion for insects. So, you don't want to miss it. And we got so many other fun things, you know. We're having a hippie night, Summer of Love. We got, you know, real Texas barbecue. We got just so many wonderful things. Something for everybody. So remember, your bids need to be in by next Sunday. So if you've been like, it's time to take action, people. Bid high to make sure you get a spot. Thank you so much. All right, so if anyone would like prayer, please go to our website at trianglecsl.org. On the home page, there is a button in the upper right-hand corner. Click on that button and fill in the request form. We will get that prayer and send it out to all of our ministers and practitioners. And if you would like to dedicate a flower dedication to anyone for anything, please contact Heather Abbott at info@trianglecsl.org or Reverend Dusty at dustyripplemeyer@yahoo.com. Okay, now it's time for affirmations. So get on your feet, get to that higher ground, and say it with passion. Right. It's a call and response. I'll go first, then you. This month, I choose to see beyond the status quo that I've come to expect in the world. I choose to be willing to have conversations that reflect the wholeness of humanity, knowing that I am connected to everything and everyone. By doing so, I transcend the pull to engage in othering and create an environment of inclusivity where everyone feels welcome. I understand the importance of embodying my divinity and my humanity, and I'm willing to do the work to stand firmly grounded in that place. I affirm that the science of mind principles provide an opportunity to honor the intrinsic worth and contribution of every person, fostering a more enlightened and compassionate society. I declare that I am willing to go beyond a theoretical discussion of our principles and commit to being in action as we co-create a world that works for all. I declare that I am willing to go beyond a theoretical discussion of our principles and commit to being in action as we co-create a world that works for all. And so it is. All right, amen. You may sit down for a minute as I have a closing prayer for today's service. Oh man, going within, I am on fire. Just the passion, the wisdom, the laughs, the vulnerability, the love. So yes, I am on fire with love. And no, I speak that for all of us because we are all one. We are all connected. We all are in love with ourselves and each other and everything and everyone on the planet. So I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful that I got to be here today and experience this. I'm so grateful for the talents we have in our community and how generously they are given to us to reach that higher ground, to have that love, to transcend what has been and create a new status quo for ourselves that are in alignment with our particular path. So, with a heart on fire, with love and gratitude, I turn this back to God and say, make it so, exactly. Thank you. Amen. And so it is. All right, so that's it, folks. We've had a fantastic, fantastic service. Thank you for sharing it with us. Thank you to everyone, because everyone was part of our tapestry today. And we love you, we see you, and we know who you are. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon.